In order to accept family friction, we've got 4 steps, nicely alliterated. Look, listen, love, and let go. That's the process. Now we've added some words. We're going to go on deep on this. Look inside first. Listen to understand. Love unconditionally. We've talked about unconditional love is one of the hallmarks of family. You know, when Becky says, hey, FOA feels like family, that's part of it. What do you have to do to be loved here? Show up. Those are the requirements. So we're going to come back to that one. And then this balance of letting go and holding on. Okay. When you are in conflict, first of all, this is what I call coping skill number 1. Coping skill number 1, take your deep breath. You're angry, you're frustrated, you're not getting your way, you've just been emotionally hurt, you've been insulted, you've been disrespected, you are ready for conflict. Okay, breathe in. Because here's the principle. You have to resolve the conflict inside before you try to resolve the conflict outside. Do you know what I'm talking about? The major conflict you got to get a handle on is in here. More technically, in here. So before you're going to resolve the conflict, before you're going to address the friction outside, you got to look inside and ask yourself some important questions. First one, what just happened? Have you ever had that kind of thing where somebody says or does something and you're just speechless? Like, I don't even understand. What just happened? Before you respond, you want to be able to answer that question, and you want to know that what you think happened actually happened. Like, for instance, you text or called somebody and you don't get a response. Now you're angry, but you have no idea what happened. They could be busy. They could be thinking of a response. They may have the phone off. There may be something else going on, but your mind will fill in the gaps. Okay? You're going to think you know what happened, and you may be responding to something that never actually happened. Why were they late? They were late because they don't care. They don't care because they're disrespecting me. See, that's what they always do, and now I'm upset. Then you get the phone call, yeah, I had a flat tire. Oh, well, that was a lot of wasted anger. Okay? So we look inside. What just happened? What am I thinking? Okay? You do have the ability to identify your own thoughts. And you want to make peace with those first. Like, you know when your mind goes to a dark place that is not going to help you, and you need to back it up a little bit and go, hold on a minute. What am I thinking? Yeah, and I heard somebody recovering and it's like, oh, you started thinking. Yeah, how has that ever worked for you? Right? You know, I was on my way to do good, and then I started thinking. Okay? It is possible to think too much. Okay? To think yourself into or out of bad situations. So you got to get in touch with what I'm thinking. What am I feeling? Emotion in resolving friction is probably not your friend. Okay? I'm not saying numb it, because you don't want to numb emotions. That goes bad in a hurry. You don't want to try to control emotions, but you don't want to let them drive. Because you let the emotions drive, they're going to put you into a ditch. So you go, wow, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm frustrated, I'm thinking I never want to talk to this person again, I'm thinking that's unexcusable, that's indefensible, and if they call me, here's what I'm going to say. Okay? Then you go, wait a minute, that may not be the best response. So the first step we've done, looked inside, what just happened, what am I thinking, what am I feeling, what am I going to do? Not even dealing with the other person yet. You're getting yourself right, finding some peace inside, then you're going to address the friction. Okay, avoid the judgment trap. Let me give you a sentence that's always trouble. Anytime you hear this sentence, just go, oh, here we go. Sentence is this. Well, you know why they did that? They did that because, okay, that sentence is always going to cause trouble. Half the time, we don't know why we do what we do. How the heck are we going to know why somebody else did what they did? Well, they shouldn't have done that. Here's what they should have done. Okay? We can love people or we can judge them, but it's very difficult to do both. One of the things you find here, a lot of love, no judgment. Oh, did you just like train wreck Mother's Day and relapse and injure a lot of people that you care about? Okay. We can handle that. We'll work on that. You're not going to get judged for that. That's part of the process. So you don't want to judge thoughts, motives, attitudes. We don't know. You know, even when the Bible says don't judge, that's what it's talking about. Those type of things. Now, we do have to judge behavior. And most of us have to learn the process of going, don't know the thoughts, don't know the motives, don't know the attitudes, but I know what you said. And I know what you did. And I'm going to focus on the behavior, not judging the person. You know, you're still my family and I still love you, but that can't happen again. So avoid the judgment trap and know your triggers. Triggers are when you have a small event that causes a big reaction. I'll give you one of mine. Every time my son goes, drives me nuts. Oh my goodness, I'm not normally a violent person, but boy, does that bring it like right to the surface. I have another one. Like when I hear a parent tell a child to do something, okay, I want you to go do this, and the child looks at the parent and goes, no. You know, right? That was not acceptable in our house. You know, so I have very strong emotional reactions to those things. Do you know what your triggers are? Do you know the things that are said and you done? And honestly, it may not be that big of a deal, but boy, do you feel it. The triggers are yours. Now, if I want to control you, if I want to manipulate you, if I want to get you to do what I want you to do, I can do that if I can figure out your triggers. And then I can just go around. Kids do this all the time. Kids are great at figuring out their parents' triggers. Hey, watch it. Every time I says this, man, mom just loses it. Yeah, I don't want that for dinner. Yeah. So I have to work with parents on not pushing their kids' triggers, but I work with kids like, don't do that. Don't push people's triggers just to watch the explosion. Okay?
Say that again.
Don't push people's triggers just to watch the explosion.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it can be funny as all get out. Like, hey, watch this. They're going to go off. Yeah. That does not build relationships.
Not at all.
Okay. So you have to keep your hand off your own triggers and not do that to other people as well. So that's looking inside. First thing before you say anything, look inside, thoughts, feelings, emotions. Whew. Okay, I'm good. Now, listen to understand. Tell me your side. Help me understand what's going on inside of you. I don't know what you were thinking. Tell me what you were thinking. I don't know what you were feeling. Tell me what you were feeling. I don't understand where that behavior came from. I want you to tell me. I want to understand you. Isn't that what we want? All of us want somebody to sit and take the time to understand us. That is the gift we give. Help me understand what's going on here. I'm not going to react or respond until I understand what's going on. Ask communications, listen to the answers. Last month, we did a whole thing on communication. Communication occurs when you share an understanding of each of the other person's situation. When you can say, so what you're saying is this, and the other person goes, yes, now you understand. That's the point you want to get to. But it requires somebody to listen, and somebody has to go first. And since you're now the one in control, you're going to take the lead. You're going to be the mature, responsible, grown-up. Sorry. Somebody's got to do it. It's a tough job. We're going to do that for you. And I threw this in there just because I use this all the time. You know, I want help. Help me help you. Help me help you. I want to help you, but you have to help me help you. It's a great line. Anybody know the rest of the scene from Jerry Maguire? Where like the Rod Tidwell goes, see, that's the difference. You think we're having an argument. I think we're starting to communicate. Yeah. Okay. They're finally getting to the point where they're being honest, but it takes somebody to listen to try to understand. Once you feel like you understand, I know what was going on. I've listened. I've been respectful. You have to get to the point where you can respond and love unconditionally. You can accept the person even while disagreeing with their behavior. Look, this doesn't jeopardize the relationship. Still my son, still my spouse, still my child, whatever. Behavior's not okay, but I love you. That's the loving unconditionally. You want to reject anger, revenge, and unlived lives. Let me explain what those are. Anger, we get. Why are you angry? Because I want my way and I'm not getting it. I want this person to do something and they're not doing it. Okay? Once we give in to that anger, if we respond out of anger, that's almost never good. So you may have to go, look, I'm a little angry right now. Probably not a good time for me to deal with this. Give me a moment. I got to deal with my anger, and then we'll work on this. So you don't want to give in to the anger. You don't want to give in to revenge. What's the most natural thing in the world? You walk up to me, poke me in the eye. I'm going to cover my eye. I'm not going to let you do it again, and I'm going to poke you in the eye. You know, you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you back. Normal, human, not necessarily productive. So you go, wow, I really want to get revenge right now. Or I really want justice. You know, you stole from me, you broke something that was mine, I want to take it out of your hide. You know, no, I'm not going to be motivated. I'm not going to let the anger control my behavior. Not going to let revenge control my behavior. And here's the concept of unlived lives. The other person can't live the life you wanted for yourself. This one's particularly for parents. I made all of these mistakes and I didn't live the life that I wanted to live. Now I want my children to live that life for me. I want them to be what I could have been. I don't want them to make the same mistakes that I made. Again, noble, loving, but you can't control that. Okay? So you have to make peace with who you are and the path that brought you here, and then respond to the other person with going, look, that is your life. So they can't live the life you wanted, and they can't live the life you wanted for them. We will resort to control and manipulation if we're trying to get people like, here's the life I want for you, so I'm going to keep control of your life, control all the variables, give you no freedom, no independence, and you are going to be what I want you to be. That is not unconditional love. That is not acceptance. To say, look, you've got to live your life. You got to make your choices. I love you. I care about you. I want the relationship. I want what's best for you. That is love, wanting good for another person. But I'm not going to try to control you. That's not loving, not healthy. Definition of love, the desire for good for another person. Okay? Did I always do things that made my kids happy? No. Did I always respond correctly? No. Can I go to the best of my ability? I always responded out of love. Yeah. Yeah, I can do that one. So that's the love unconditionally. And then we have to get to let go and hold on. Wait a minute. That's a contradiction. How do you do both? Well, love means knowing when to hold on and knowing when to let go. And it took me a while to figure out, like the Passion song, if you love her, then you let her go. Anybody know that one? Okay, great song. Look up the lyrics for that, because it has this, wow, sometimes loving means letting go. Then the other one from when my kids were small, we were watching a movie, it's like, where is she? I let her go. Why? Because I love her. Okay? At the point where the beast is like, I can keep this person in captivity, but that's not love. Love has that ability to go, I've got to let go of this. You have to let go of the desire to control the other person, but you hold on to the hope for them and their relationship. That's the trick. Letting go of control, holding on to the hope. Not going to try to control you, but I'm still going to hope for the best. Now, we did the look inside, listen to understand, love unconditionally, let go of control, hold on to the hope. What does that look like? One of the greatest family stories that we have is called the story of the Prodigal Son. Okay? So at the point where you figure out how do we manage family friction in a way, engineering people, if you've ever had to manage friction in a machine, okay? Couple different ways. There is static friction, which is they're not moving, they're offering that resistance. There is sliding friction, rolling friction, fluid friction, which embraces the thing that it's attached to. If you take those 4 kinds of friction and apply them to relationships, you actually get a pretty good model. So if you don't know the story of the prodigal son, basically what happens is you have a very wealthy father. The father has 2 sons. The younger son, throw in a little bit, basically tells his dad, hey, I wish you were dead. You have money. I want my inheritance. I don't care about you. I do care about the money. Give me my inheritance now. I'm out of here. Now, that's bad enough in our culture. In their culture, you did not disrespect elders. So that's major friction. Okay? And I call it friction. Did the father want the son to have the inheritance? Yeah. Did the father want the son to be happy? Yeah. They weren't arguing about the outcome. They were arguing about how to get there and at what time. That's what the disagreement was about. So when you look at it, the father had some choices. Static friction. Push back means oppose and prevent. Sometimes in managing friction, you're just going to have to go, no. No, what you want to do, I'm not okay with. I'm not going to let it happen. The father could have said, son, not only are you not going, I'm putting guards at the gate. You step off the family farm, I'll have you arrested. In that culture, you could take them down to the city gates and have them stoned. So it's like, son, you want to leave with the inheritance now? No, I don't think so, and I will do whatever I can in my power to stop you. Not always a bad response. Okay? If you love somebody and they're making bad decisions and bad choices, and you're going, am I going to sit here passively and watch them self-destruct? No. I'm going to get in the way. If you're a parent, you have children, are you going to let them just self-destruct? It's like, oh, no. I'm going to say no. I'm going to get in the way. I'm going to express my love by setting boundaries, by setting limits. Okay? I hate snakes. Spiders I'm good with. Snakes, don't do snakes. I don't do snakes at all. Okay? So my natural fear is if I see a snake that way, I'm going this way. However, if there's a snake over there and my child is moving toward the snake, I want to go play with the snake. No, I'm getting in the way. And the snake's dying. Sorry, no offense. I love, life is good. But I'm getting in the way. One of my favorite stories when one of my daughters was a teenager, she came out of her room wearing something that, her mom and I looked at and again, nah, that is not appropriate for school. Go back, try again. She came out again wearing something different, said, okay, is this okay? Yeah, fine. She had her backpack. She left out the door. My wife and I looked at each other and went, she put that outfit in the backpack. She is going to change when she gets to school. That was the wrong thing to do. My wife's like, I got this. Okay? Mom went to school. Waited for her to get into her first class. Said, oh, I need to pull my daughter out of class. Oh, here's the room she's in. Mom goes, knocks on the window like this. And the daughter's like, busted. Okay? That's pushing back. Like, no, you are not going to do that. You're going to do that. I'm going to take away the keys. Going to take away the card. Going to take away the phone. No. Pushing back is good and acceptable, strongest response that you can have. But it's not the only response. There are some things you can let it slide. Prodigal father. Oh, you want to leave and get your inheritance and go party? You can leave. You ain't getting the inheritance. If you want to go, you go. Okay? I'm not going to prevent it, but I ain't going to help you. If that's the way you want to do it, you're on your own. That's that letting it, I'm going to let it slide. Not going to prevent it, but I'm not going to help you. Okay? There are some things in life, in relationships, where you go, you know what, we're just going to let that one slide. It wasn't okay. It wasn't good. I didn't like it. If it happens again, it's going to be a problem. Just let it slide. It's okay. Next one, the roll with it. Roll with it. Let it slide was allow and resist. Roll with it is allow and assist, which is what the father actually did. I don't like your choice. I think it's the wrong choice. I don't think this is going to go well, but I love you, and if that's what you want to do, you can go and take the inheritance. I don't think it's going to work for you, but if that's what you want to do, I'll let you do it. Okay? And there are some things in relationships that you go, you know what? We're not in agreement, but I'll help you do that. If that's what you want to do. Okay, here's the assistance that you need. So that's rolling with it. Embracing it is the funny one, because nobody ever thinks of this. I never thought of it. I've known that story for years, never thought of this option. Embracing it is when you realize the other person was right, and you were just being a jerk, and it's really not that big an issue, and you were just saying no out of convenience, and this is something that you could say yes to, and it's not going to hurt anything. So you actually change your position. Because like the father could have said, you know what? Eldest son wants the farm anyway. I was thinking about retiring anyway. I think what I'm going to do, since the younger son came in, asked for an inheritance, I'm just going to give the son the farm now. It's all his. He wants it, son. Run the farm. It's yours. Younger son and I are going to go out and blow his inheritance. It was an option. Okay? It's a humble option of going, you know what? I picked the wrong battle. I was wrong. The other person's right. I'm going to apologize for making it difficult. I'm going to embrace what they want to do, and I'm going to support them in doing it. Okay? That will reduce the friction. That will get you someplace. Last one that I put in, and as far as managing friction, yeah, sometimes you have to separate. Walk away, protect, and defend. Things are so bad that you know the other person desires not just to harm themselves, they want to take you down with them. And you just have to go, no. Yeah. Do you give up on hope for the person? No. Do you give up on hope for the relationship? No. Do you suspend the relationship? Yes. Okay? You are on your own. And you take that step back. Self-protection is still job one. Okay? Drowning person, you go out and rescue a drowning person, they're going to panic and try to push you under, and now you got two drowning people. Quicksand, oh, are you in quicksand? Let me get in the quicksand with you and help you out. No, now you got two people in the quicksand. Oxygen mask on the plane. Put your own oxygen mask on first, because if you pass out, you can't help anybody else. So that self-protection is the thing, and it's like, look, I can't do this. I need to step back. So the separation is the last one, but it's an option. Think of the last family friction that you had. A little bit of resistance. You wanted to do something. It wasn't going. There was a disagreement. Which one did you go with? Did you push back? Hell no, that's not going to happen. You want opposition? You got opposition. Was it that one? Was it like, hey, if you want to do it, go ahead, but I'm not going to help? Okay, I'll let you. I'll help. You know what? You're right. Let's do it together. Or we're done. You're on your own. Those are the tools available for family friction. Repetition. Friction is just resistance. Friction is a part of every family relationship. Work to minimize the damage, benefit from the shaping, and gain traction for moving forward. I'm interested, if you want to raise your hand on this one, you can, but you don't have to. How many people in this room went through a significant amount of friction before getting here? It was the friction, yeah. It was the friction that made the difference. Really? I was going to say,
You got lost.
yeah, okay. I know what it's like in their car when they get lost. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Wow, this is friction. What are we going to do with it? What should we do with it? Look inside, listen to understand, love unconditionally, let go of control, hold on to the hope, and then choose a response. Most of the time, you will make progress. This is how you keep the friction from destroying the relationship. Don't try to get rid of it, try to manage it.